Okay. Hello, everyone. Um, Coming in tonight, going to do a little recap on the Korean Fantasy Baseball from last night. Look ahead to Korean Baseball, which starting in just a couple hours, and MMA tomorrow. Have a bit of a new layout I'm experimenting with. A couple of different scenes going to work with, see how that goes. Um, First thing we'll do is we'll recap Korean Baseball and jump into the Korean Baseball for tonight. It's an early start tonight. They start the first games kick off at 1 a.m. and and the rest of the games are at 4 a.m. Eastern. So we'll go through those first, and then we'll go into a little bit of the MMA because I don't think I'm going to be around online earlier tomorrow before the 6 p.m. Uh, start of the MMA event for the prelims. Um, um, Tomorrow night, though, I am planning at 7 o'clock to be on and do a full run through of survivor pools for the upcoming NFL season. During that time, we'll also recap this Korean baseball. Look forward to the next day's Korean baseball, and I'm also going to do some NASCAR tomorrow. Um, so there you go. So let me run over here now and see what exactly we've got going on for the recap from yesterday's Korean baseball. If anybody has any questions at any point, feel free to shoot them my way, and we can talk about any other sports as well. So we do a quick recap here. Here was my picks from yesterday. We knew there was going to be some danger from rain, and of course, one game did get rained out, and it wasn't the one that was being anticipated to be rained out. It was a different one, the one that I avoided mostly because of the rain. Didn't get rained out. So you can see, lost 3 players. Again, like I said, that's why I'm got sick of mainly with just the dollar tournaments right now for the Korean leagues because it's not in my schedule right now to be up at 5:30 in the morning and double check that. But I'm willing to take a dollar loss here and there. So you can go through it. You can look through it. The two pitchers that we had, not bad. They scored us a couple points, and the top of the lineup did just fine. We were able to get some points there. In the catcher did great for us with only $3,200, and coming in at 12 points, and our first baseman was okay. Although when you got a team scoring 13 runs and you got the guy that's batting third, you'd like to see him get a little more than 2 hits and 2 RBIs. So that was okay. Fernandez came through a bit again. 13 runs, only 2 RBIs and 3 hits. 19 points though. I won't ever turn away from that. After that though, players just dropped off the face of the earth. Yeah, we lost 3 guys from uh, from the rain, from the postponement. I had the guy batting cleanup for the Bears. 13 runs scored, he didn't get anything. So that hurts. And then Song also got shut out. So all in all, not a good lineup with that one. I did play a second Korean baseball where I was able to get into the money and pretty much just cover my costs there. Cool, thanks, Kate. Um, and Here is my second lineup. Let me see, make sure that's showing correct. Yep, good. On this one now, yeah, I actually wound up losing a pitcher on this one, which usually when that happens, you're going to be in some big trouble. Um, but wound up losing him. Stayed with Straley, got a few points. Still missed 2 of my players. Still had 2 players here. the two Kims, but lost out on both of those. Somehow, though, I don't know if I didn't really check out everybody's lineups and see what everyone was doing. So might have been a lot of people that did load up on the Twins and the Heroes game. Um, so they may have lost more players because even with losing a pitcher and two players, was able to squeak into the money on this one. Um, and also with nobody really exploding, you know, only wound up with 93, a little over 93 points, but it was just enough to get me in there and win back with enough money to cover the other the other roster that we put together. So that is and like I said, that's going to happen. I'm like I've said before, I'm in to the fantasy football. I have been able to play on fantasy sports and basic sportsbook betting. I have been able to play over $100,000 worth of bets without having to reinvest. I've never won a huge tournament. I think the biggest I won ever was I got $5,000 from a Thanksgiving Day daily fantasy sports event. But that was the biggest I've ever won. Um, Other than that, I've won a couple times. I've won a few. I've won $1,000. I think 2 or 3 times. I've won $2,000 once. But lots of low $10, $5. Winning back the money, and I'm in it for the fun. I'm in it for the fun. I'm never gonna drive myself crazy. Trying to figure out what's the secret angle that's gonna get me the $1 million tournament. I'm never gonna. You know, I don't foresee me ever having to invest more money, but if I did, it would be a couple $100 again. I'm never going to worry about that. Um, and that's what everyone should be in it for. Everyone should be in it for the fun. If you enjoy it, you're going to be able to play a lot without losing money and every so often take a few thousand out. And God willing, or whatever higher power you believe in, if you do it all, luck willing, the universe willing, whatever it is, you know, somebody gets lucky. Somebody gets lucky and you wind up getting the 50,000 or the 100,000 or the $1 million tournament. Why not? But don't fixate on it. So that's my recap from um, the two Korean baseball lineups I had last night. Now, let's take a look at the Korean baseball coming up. That's coming up, starting up in about 2.5 hours, and what we can do here. There's no rain called for, and this one. Let's jump over here. There we go. So this is going to be, I'm just, again, entering a daily dollar tournament. Uh, Single tree. I might actually wind up being awake for the start of the games tonight, so I probably will check back around 1 a.m. Eastern to see how it's going. But again, going to stick with the concept of taking a look at how I run through my first 4 picks, give you probably who I'm going to go with, just as one example as to who I might pick as my first 4 picks, following the process that I've outlined in the previous videos. And then maybe throw a couple of other ideas at you uh, in terms of who might be a good pick, depending on what route you go down when it comes to picking your players, whether you're going to try and go heavy on the pitchers or heavy on the catchers. We'll see. Um, so let's jump into this first of all. First of all, looking for my primary pitcher of the evening, and there's a couple of high-priced guys out there, but not like we've seen before. There's only one guy at 9,700 and one other guy coming in right at 9,000. So So there's a number of potential bargains that you can make here. Um, I don't really like going with the top guy on this one. I'm just not really pulled towards him as being one of my primary starters. I think that again, this is a bit too high of a price for. We'll take a look at him real quick. I did not know his first name was Warwick, that may change everything. I I may have to go with Warwick now because that is a let's see what's he got going on here. He's got played in 2 games, started 2 games, 15 innings pitched, hasn't given up any home runs, only 7 total strikeouts. So he's definitely not a big time. Oh, he does have a complete game shutout though. He did have a complete game shutout against the Wyverns 5 days ago. So that is that's where he got that's where he got his big bonus points right there. He was pitching a good game. What did he do there? Only 2 hits against a struggling Wyvern team, and then playing against the Heroes there, gave up 5 hits on 200 runs, only 5 strikeouts. Yeah, so I don't think, even though his first name is Warwick, I don't think he's going to convince me to uh, go with him today. So let's pass by him. Instead, I'm looking at. I'm looking at Jake here. I'm looking at Jake. Now again here, he started 2 games. He hasn't had a win or a loss in either one of them. Hasn't pitched too many uh, innings up to this point. Given up a home run, not many strikeouts, but he's 8,500. Um, he had a good season last year in terms of strikeouts. He has over a 20% strikeout ratio. Um, let's see who else we have. Let's take a look at Taehoon Kim. Taehoon Kim. Only 1 game started so far. He has a loss there, 6 innings pitched. Overall, not terrible. He gave up 2 runs, had 3 strikeouts. It's another tough one. So if we're gonna have a tough time picking out the uh, primary pitcher. I'm kind of thinking right now, with this guy only being 7,200, he could give us a good uh, leg up on some of the other hitters that are out there. So let's take a look at them. Let's take a look. Let's throw him in there. All right, let's throw him in there and see what that gives us. That means if we go over here to our hitters, there's a couple of pairs that we definitely like getting on this point. Um, we like Mel Rojas Jr. He's been hitting well, and I believe. Let me check. I think that the pitcher that is starting for the Eagles has been struggling. Let's see. Yeah, I think that the pitcher has been. Who's starting? Yeah. So Yoon. Okay, so Sung Hwan Yoon is starting for the Eagles. And Yeah, yeah. So he's been struggling. He only strikes out about 10% of his people. Uh, he's up there in age now. He's at 38 years old, and yeah, and he's been struggling this year. So we like Mel Rojas Jr. going up against him. So if we're going to go up against him, we probably also look at uh, building a bit of a stack against against the Eagles. So let's go over here and let's get Rojas in there, and let's throw Kang in there as well. Okay, so we got both of those guys. That's two big money guys, and then we could look for a money saver on the Wiz. The Wiz have been picking up their offense recently, and definitely scoring. Let's see if we've got starting lineups here for the KBO. Okay, looking at the Wiz. Mel Rojas is scheduled to be batting fifth. Backhoe Kang is scheduled to be batting third. So let's see, who else can we get? Now we do have to save a little bit of money because we've only got 43 and we still need another pitcher. So if we're looking to save some money on the Wiz to complete a stack here, that's not really saving money though. Here you go. See, here, this guy's batting fourth. Yeah, so Han Jun Yu is batting fourth. And that would give us if we went with him, that's going to give us the 3, 4, 5 spot in their lineup, which maybe it pays off. So let's play that out once. Let's see what happens if we take him. If we take Han Jun Yu batting fourth here, so then we got him. So that's taking us down to 4,300 total. If we were looking for a money saver, then we could go with their leadoff hitter. Their leadoff hitter for tomorrow, who's their shortstop, Woojun Sim. So we could go with a 4. Let's go with let's take a look at that. So that would be an option. So right off the bat, I'm saying, look at Kim, Kang, Rojas Jr., and Yu. Now, one of the options would be, at this point, you have to save a little bit of money. So you look at Woo Jun Sun. You then look at, Woo Jun Sim. Then you have to look at your other pitcher. If you look at your other pitcher, which direction do you want to go here? You can't spend a ton of money if you're going to go with those batters. So by default, you almost have to look at somebody down a bit lower on the price range. And let's see. Too expensive. also fairly. Here's another situation where you got Kelly here at 8,000, and you would think no, stay away from him with that performance that he had in his first game. Yeah, only got 2 innings pitched, gave up 5 earned runs. He got hammered. He got hammered. Now the question uh, is he another one that's going to bounce back because he does have major league experience? Is that just that he was getting the rust knocked off of him and he's going to bounce back? Still, 8,000 would be quite a push. But I don't really love anybody else in there. So if we threw him in there, if we went with Casey Kelly, you're probably going to get a pretty low ownership on that, given his first performance. But if we threw him in there, that would leave us with 3,900 left over. At that point, we'd have to definitely look at saving money. So there'd be a couple of ways you could go there. Who might be struggling? Do you want to go with anybody else? Do you want to go with another whiz player? Do you want to go with somebody who? Let's take a look here. Do you want to go with Let's take a look down here at the lower to see if we could find somebody who might save some money. Song Lee here. Not bad. Yeah, so this is a guy that's been struggling so far this year, but does have a history of being a power hitter. Let's see where he's batting for the Eagles right now. Let's see. And he is batting. He's batting cleanup. He's batting cleanup for the Eagles. Yeah, and the starting pitcher for the Giants is no. Is that correct? Yeah. So here's the guy that had the starting. He's starting for the Giants. And this guy, let's see, had 5 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, gave him 9 hits. So, yeah. So I would suggest, one of your possibilities there is if you went that way, you'd be able to get him into your outfield for 2,900. That's going to bounce you back up to 4,200. You'd be able to fill out the rest of your lineup fairly easily there. Let's take him down. Let's take him away. Let's just say let's say that you want to go with old Warwick up here, and spend on the second pitcher. So if you go with Warwick, that brings you way down to 3,500 average. Again, you could look to save money with Lee here. Batting cleanup for the Eagles. looking for the Eagles. If you did that, that's going to take you up to around 3,600. That's not bad. You know, you'd still be able to maybe fit in the other Lee. Oh, yeah, wait, yeah. Messed up my Lees. This Lee is batting. Let's make sure he's playing for the Lions here. Okay, he is playing. Lee is playing, but he's batting 7th. Still, not a terrible money saver if you were going to spend up for your pitcher. So that's an option, and then you can fit in the other Lee in the outfield too. And then again, that gets you back up over 4,000. You should be able to fill in your catcher and your third baseman pretty easily there. So that's a couple of options. I will, same as last night, and I think this will be the regular pattern now. I will complete this roster after I'm done broadcasting tonight. We will recap it tomorrow as a lead in to the tomorrow's going to be a busy show. There's going to be a lot of information in tomorrow's broadcast stream, whatever we call this. Get rid of these guys, and I'll keep those 4 right there for now. That's going to be my base right there. I might switch a few of them up here and there. That'll be my overall base. Again, just going to go with one lineup here. Might wind up throwing in the second lineup somewhere just to cover myself. My feeling is I'm just going to go with one tonight. But there's a couple different ways that you can go there. I don't know which way I'm leaning. I don't know if I'm going to go with go with Warwick and spend up on the second pitcher, or look to save money and then just pick a few more bangers on the hitters. So let's jump over now to the MMA event, which is happening tomorrow. MMA can be pretty fun. MMA can definitely be fun. Again, as I said, as we saw on the Wednesday event, the upsets are the things that'll just really wreck you. There's not a lot you can do. If you pick the upset, you're golden. If you don't, then you're going to struggle. And in general, I don't. I think it's very rare you can find yourself in a situation where you're able to successfully pick all 6 of your position to be winners and afford everybody. And so you're probably going to wind up doubling up on one fight. I try not to double up on more than one fight, because if you double up on more than one, then you're guaranteeing yourself 2 losses. And sure, you're guaranteeing yourself 2 wins too. But those 2, you've got, the one thing that I was able to do in the last MMA fight that I picked I picked fine on the one where I doubled up on. Both the loser and the winner got me decent points. So let's take a look here. Here I'll throw in a couple of picks I think. Right off the bat, my main pick is going to be Walt Harris. Overeem is. I've watched. I've been a fan of the UFC since back in the days when they didn't have any weight classes, and essentially the only rules were no eye gouging and no fish hooking, and other than that it was all's fair. Those are the Tank Abbott days and the Ken Shamrock those guys, and and all those guys. But so I've seen Overeem since he came in, and he's getting up there now. He's definitely lost a lot of mobility and the ability to run around. So I think Walt Harris is going to get him. And Walt has been on. He's 13-7, but he's been on a good run the last couple of fights. He had, I think it's 2 first-round knockouts coming in here. Both of them pretty quick. Overeem's dangerous, obviously. He still has knockout power. He's still a big guy, and anybody with that kind of power, you can get you can get a knockout. But I'm gonna go with Walt as probably my primary pick here, and then we'll give a few other options here as to how can we build around that. And next one that I would jump down to is, we've got Barbosa here going up against I don't know how you pronounce the name. Ije, I'm not sure. Barbosa's a pretty decent favorite to win the matchup. Barbosa has a significant size advantage on him. Oh, there you go, Dan. And I think that Barbosa is going to be able to outmuscle him and take the victory on this one. So again, he'll probably be my second overall solid pick. I wouldn't completely rule out Aj. He's got a 13-2 record. I know that he's fought a few the majority of the people he's fought haven't been high quality. They haven't been up there. So, and what is the difference in size? Barbosa is this is a featherweight fight, and Barbosa comes in at 5'11", and Dan is coming in at 5'7". Barbosa is pretty known for his kicks, so I want to go with Barbosa on this one. Okay, now we're starting to get down in money a little bit, so we're gonna have to keep our eye on who would we go with next. Who's out there that might be a possibility to save money on here. And we've got, in the fourth fight, you've got, check out, Christoph Jotko and Eric Anders. Now, Anders used to be a football player, I believe. He used to be a football player. And Jotko is definitely favorite to win the fight according to Vegas odds. Jotko's is favorite to win the odds. Jotko's the favorite to win. He's got a better record. He's more expensive, but this is an opportunity here where we can make a pick and save some money, because we're down to 8,200. So if you're going with these two guys as your main pick, look at someone like Jotko. That's going to bring you back up to the $8,400 range. You can also look at also look at Hernandez here. Hernandez is special as a potential money saver. I think that let me take a look at the women's strawweight fight here. Yeah, this is one here where if you wanted to go with this one, you'd go with Claudia Gadelha. Right here, yeah. She's pretty heavily favored by Vegas to win the fight. Yeah, she's pretty heavily favored to win the fight. She is awfully expensive, though. And it's not like Hill is a slouch. She's real tough to knock out. Angela Hill, that is. Yeah, so they're not expecting this one to be a stoppage. They are expecting this one to be something that goes the distance. So with that being the case, this would be the fight that I would look at to double up on. If you're gonna double up on a fight, because Hill's coming in at only 7,100. Gadelha is pretty heavily favored to win the fight, but Hill may very well be able to get in her a few licks here and there, and who knows if there's an upset. So this would be one that I would consider going with your double up right there. And if you do that, that leaves you with $9,000 left. You can pick anybody you want on the slate for your last slot. So that's one option. If you didn't go that way, if you said I want to go big on her and find out another potential double up slot, then you could look at Dan. You could double up Dan and Barbosa. You could go that way. Let's see. This one, this one, he's Miguel Baiza is expected to definitely get the knockout on this one. So he could be another way that you could go. You could try to work him in place of, maybe you want to remove Barboza, since the not 100% sold on that. Maybe you remove Barboza. If you did that, and if you replace him with Baiza, looking for an early first round knockout, you're down to 7,800. Probably then. Looking for, maybe another fight that isn't really necessarily anticipated to go the distance, or that is anticipated to go the distance, to double up on it. Could look at the other women's flyweight fight. Is that here? I think that should be here. Yeah, Casey and Morella. We would not have it. Yeah, you wouldn't. That would not be enough money. You wouldn't have enough money if you went that kind of lineup. So you wouldn't be able to go with Baiza and Gadelha. And so you wouldn't be able to go with both of those. I would probably lean towards keeping the co-main event in there and using that as your double up, going with Angela Hill, and then that leaves you with 8,500. So yeah, so I think that the main picks that I'm looking at here is definitely having Walt Harris in there, going with a double up on the co-main event, and then probably keeping Anders in there, and then making a decision: do I want to go with Biza and really pull for that first round knockout and fill it in, or go with Barboza? I could go with Barboza and Biza. That's another option. So we'll see. I'll wind up finishing up this roster, but I think my suggestion would be go with Walt Harris, double up on the co-main event, get Anders in there to save yourself some money, and then fill out the roster the rest of the way out. So that's everything. We'll recap both the Korean lineup that I go with, as well as and this MMA is a I think it's a $4. Yeah, it's a $4 3-entry max tournament. And this one has a really good it's the MMA 12K sprawl. This one has a very good pay rate. 3,567 people with 880 getting money. Now, sure, over 300 of them only get back $6. But again, if I'm only playing one entry, which I will only be playing one entry with the MMA tonight, as long as I get back more than I bet, I don't care. It's going to cover my costs, give me a couple bucks more, and you do that often enough, and you get to play forever. That's my goal. So in this one, so you see, 3,567 entries, and 880 are making money. That's nearly 25%. Just barely under 25% getting paid. So that's 1 out of every 4 folks. So there you go. I will be online at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I will definitely be running through a lot of sports tomorrow. We'll be recapping Korean baseball. We'll be recapping MMA. We'll be looking ahead to the next day's Korean baseball. We'll be looking ahead to NASCAR, the event that's happening on Sunday. We will be doing an extended run-through on the upcoming NFL season. Not fantasy at this point, but we're going to go through a complete survivor pool build from week 1 to week 17. And that'll be something that we'll be touching base on a regular basis, just to show you how I go about building survivor pools. I've been in survivor pools for about 30 years now. I think I've been in at least one. Usually not more than 3 or 4, but at least one every year for 30 years. And I think I'm not sure, but if I think back, I think there's probably been 10, maybe 9 or 10 years where I haven't won something in the survivor pools. So, if you're interested in that, check out tomorrow night's broadcast. I'm scheduling for 7 to 9 p.m. If it runs long, then I might extend it or just pick it up on the next day. So there you go. Take care, everyone. Stay safe out there. Have fun betting. Don't get too stressed over things. And I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.